The Declaration of Independence, the Emancipation Proclamation, a declaration of sentiments, each of these a step closer to freedom than the last. Each of these historical moments paints a picture of equality. We can choose to focus on this. We can choose to live in a bubble of bliss, a prison of peace, a dungeon of delight. We can lock ourselves in a room where everything is fine. Because if you look at life from a certain way, things are going great. The United States gained its freedom. Slavery is abolished and women won the right to vote. Even though there are still millions of problems in the world, we can look at the bright side. But what do we know about these unresolved issues? We know this. We know about the things that happen on social media. We hear about the hashtags, we see the stories, and of course repost them. What about the unheard? What about the invisible? How do you act? How can you be helped if no one knows you're in peril? This is the plight of the Kurds. Who are the Kurds? The Kurds are a people with a rich history. The population of Kurds in the world today is between 30 and 40 million. Thousands of years ago, the Kurds, then known as the Medes, owned their land and were a part of a successful empire with the Persians. What changed? What happened to take such a massive community and make it disappear from the public eye? After World War I, a treaty was signed, the Treaty of Sevres. This agreement clearly stated that the Kurds would have the right to run an autonomous nation of their own. This was a monumental step in modernizing what the Medes had built. But a man named Ataturk had a different idea. He took some of this Kurdish land and more and made a nation known as Turkey. The remaining Kurdish territory was then divided among the 4 nations surrounding them. Turkey officially banned the words Kurd, Kurdish, and Kurdistan from being spoken within their borders. Ataturk dismissed the Kurds from existence. He argued there were no Kurds, merely Turks who forgot their language. Slowly, the world forgot about Kurdistan. Surrounded by enemies, Kurds were silenced. Fast forward to the 80s, a man named Saddam Hussein rose to power. He became the president of Iraq and used this authority to kill thousands and thousands of people. His goal was to eliminate the Kurds from existence. After more than 180,000 deaths, Saddam was finally tried and hung. This attempt at genocide is just one of the many efforts to erase the Kurds. Now let's talk about the present. Barish Chakan, a Kurdish man living in Turkey, walks outside to get some fresh air. He pulls out his phone and turns on his favorite Kurdish song. He is then attacked by 3 Turkish men and stabbed to death. Can someone tell me his crime? Can someone explain to me what this man did that deserved death? Can someone give me a reason? This story is one of thousands. Every day, Kurdish people live in oppression and are surrounded by hatred. Now it's up to the rest of the world to make a difference, but no one knows. No one hears these stories. The media doesn't talk about these martyrs. So what can we do? Most everyone in this room right now does not know of a single way they can help. That's why I brought these slips that I'll be giving out after class. I lived in Kurdistan for 7 years, and I know that even little acts can help a lot. On these papers, I have written down the username of an Instagram account called Kurdistani People that posts daily about Kurds who have been mistreated or oppressed. I encourage every one of you go to this profile and repost something that moves you. Go to YouTube and type "This is Kurdistan" and you will find some amazing videos my friend Hax made. He takes the viewers on a tour of Kurdistan and shows how beautiful the region truly is. And lastly, if you visit change.org, you can sign a number of petitions attempting to raise awareness for Kurds. I have also sent all these links to our general class chat. These 3 things are short, simple tasks that I encourage each and every one of you to complete. I ask that you do this minimal effort in order to show the world that someone does care for Kurdistan. I call on you. I call on anyone who ever hears me say these words. Get up and act. We cannot sit around in our privileged lives and pretend that nothing is wrong. We cannot ignore this oppression for another second. Each and every person who is listening to me right now can make a change. All you have to do is post something, tell someone, sign a petition. Thousands of Kurds have died for their country. Millions shed their blood in hopes of freedom, and we can't make a story. The world must recognize Kurdistan. And I plead with everyone to take in my words, to stop thinking about anything else for a moment. Listen. Hear the Kurds. Hear their cries for help. Hear Barish screaming as he is stabbed for a song. Hear my words. Kurds will not be ignored. They will stand. Now we all have a choice. We can look the other way, or we can stand with them. Will you fight for equality? Will you defend justice? I choose to stand. I stand with Kurdistan. Speech for Kurdistan.